Well, it's Saturday, but things normally don't go as I planned. Originally, I was going to do the New Japan show, but unfortunately, that didn't come out, so I may have to do that on the next episode. But however, I decided for the heck of it, let's focus on AEW Collision Playoff Palooza. So this one, of course, features many matches. We have Swerve Strickland taking on Blake Christian. We have the Tornado tag team between Crew and Top Flight. We got an eliminator match for the AEW Women's World Championship and plenty others as well. So we're going to focus from A to Z on that one. And then, as always, we will cap up our episode with some news updates, a very short one, to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are thrown out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of pro wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us. So click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, enough with the pleasantries, so let's rock and roll. So let's begin with AEW Collision with Playoff Palooza. Okay, AEW Collision Playoff Palooza. Now, we opened up with Swerve Strickland along with Prince Nana that were making their way to the ring to do a promo. However, the EVPs, the Young Bucks, as you know, ended up in a bit of a feud with Swerve. Now, remember, it was the Bucks that cost Swerve Strickland the opportunity to become AEW World Champion against Moxley. But, however, of course, Swerve has not forgotten. So the Bucks, of course, stopped his promo saying, "Hey, nobody wants to talk to you. No one wants to listen." So he was supposed to have a match against Blake Christian earlier in the day, but unfortunately, they decided to, since the EVPs have some bit of a power, they jumped that match right away. So it's Swerve versus Blake Christian. Now, of course, the X factor of this match, you probably can guess, is Lee Johnson being on the side of Blake Christian, which obvious we've seen over time. But however, of course, Swerve was not going to let anything roll out till he put uh, Blake Christian in the GML driver, and just like that, 1, 2, 3. However, the EVPs decided to attack Swerve to send him a message, And then, of course, Kenny Omega showed up to deal with it. However, of course, Kenny had to fight off until Swerve shot up. So the EVPs ran like cowards. So sooner or later, both Kenny and Swerve will get their hands on them. Now, Samoa Joe did a little video promo talking about, of course, our current AEW World Champion, Jon Moxley. As you know, Jon Moxley has been unhinged because he got choked out by, of course, Samoa Joe. So Joe is trying to say a few things about him, the kind of person he is, and all that. But of course, he made it perfectly clear that he'll be coming to take everything from him. That includes, of course, the AEW World title. So we'll see what happens. Now, our next match is an eliminator match for the AEW Women's World title. It's not technically a championship shot. If you beat the champion himself in a time limit they give you, but if you beat them, you get a shot at the title. So Queen Aminata, as you know, answered a challenge by Tony Storm. I thought this match was pretty good because Queen Aminata is pretty awesome. She has thrown a bit of technical aspects into the ring, but however, Tony Storm was able to overcome all that and finished off the match when she applied Storm Zero, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, over. So basically, now there is the possibility Queen Aminata can now focus on the ROH Women's Pure Championship that will be happening soon. So we'll get closer to that. Now, recently, there was an interview with Lex Luger talking to Jeff Jarrett, his wife Karen, um, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh. They began to question the involvement of Sanjay Dutt. Recently, things have not been looking well for this group of recently, so they questioned him about the things he should have been doing, like, of course, championship matches, all this other stuff. So it seems now that they felt like they don't need him anymore. They are pushing away. So most likely it's more like maybe the faction is now dissolving, or they're just kicking him out saying, you haven't done squat for us, pal. So we're going to do things our way. So it seems like it could happen, but we'll see. Now, our next match, we have an open challenge once again from the best wrestler alive, Max Caster. Well, that's what he calls himself, not me. So he issued another challenge, and the person who challenged it is none other than Hologram. So basically, but recently, as you know, Max Caster has not been able to pick up a win in these challenges. So you probably could guess how this is going to be. So, of course, Hologram was able to pick up the win when he applied the portal bomb, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, he won the match. Now, our next match is a tornado tag team match between Crew, Action Andretti, and Leo Rush against Top Flight, Dante Martin, and Darius. Now, of course, as you know, these guys were tight until Action Andretti felt that they're not succeeding, they're not pushing to their goals and all that. So Action decided to cross the line, and then Leo followed. So basically, Top Flight felt like they've been crossing a line, but they have been dealing with them for months. Not to mention costing Top Flight championship bouts and all that. So once again, they decided to tangle with them in a tornado tag team match. So you probably can guess there was a lot of plunder, a lot of weapons being used. But unfortunately, Layla Gray once again got caught in the crossfire, and this cost Top Flight the match thanks to a combination of the final hour and, of course, a springboard 450 by Action Andretti and Leo Rush. And of course, Darius was the one who picked up the loss. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, over. Now, Anna Jay makes her return to the ring after 100+ days, faces against Taylor Gain. Well, this match, you probably can guess that this was over with Anna Jay pick up the win when she applied the Gory Bomb. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, over. However, Penelope Ford comes out of someone who she has dealt with recently in the past, but she didn't come alone. She had, of course, Megasis herself, Megan Bayne, and just like that, Megan Bayne sent a loud and clear message saying that who is the real person in charge of the AEW Women's Champion of locker room. So most likely, Anna Jay may have to deal with her one way or the other. Now, our next match is for the ROH World Championship. Bandito makes his defense against Dralistico. Of course, this was going to be a pretty good match and all this other stuff. A lot of high spots and all this, but in the end, Bandito was able to pick up the win when he applied the 21 plex, and just like that, uno, dos, tres, se acabó. Now, we did see a bit of a video promo between Keith Lee, no, Brian Keith and Big Bill. As you know, things have been going a little differently since they decided to step away from Chris Jericho. So they felt like it's time to crack some skulls, like literally trying to make a statement. So that's the angle that they want to throw in. So I don't blame them for what they're doing, but that's exactly what they intend to do. So we'll see what goes. Now, our next match, we have R.A. Fox versus Roosh. Well, we all knew Roosh. He's a tough SOB. He doesn't play nice. Not to mention, he says nothing happens without him saying so. And that's exactly what happened. But unfortunately, AR Fox ended up on the wrong side of the horns from the bull. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, done. Now, as you know, Trent Britt and Rocky Romero felt like they've been the underdogs. People have been unappreciated. Well, that's exactly what they want to do since joining up with the Don Callis. And they even took out the Outrunners, so that practically may set up a storyline from there, but we'll see. And then finally, we have FTR taking on Paragon, consisting of Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. Well, of course, there were going to be some great cohesions between the teams themselves. So anything could happen. But unfortunately, FTR were able to pick up the win when they applied, of course, a spike power driver onto Strong, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. However, of course, Adam Cole tried to help his buddies, but of course, FTR decided to gang up on him to show them that he's all alone. But Daniel Garcia showed up for the save the day. However, Garcia has not forgotten what happened, so they said, "You didn't finish me off enough, so I will finish you guys off." So most likely, we could see Danny Garcia teaming up with somebody to deal with them. I wouldn't be surprised if he teams up with Adam Cole, but we'll see what happens. But as of right now, we'll end things here and move on to, of course, to our next and final thing, news updates. Okay, so welcome to our news update. So this is going to be a bit of a short one for all of you. So, as always, let's begin with the upcoming events. As you know, we have the upcoming Canadian promotion, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, with Northern Rising on the 10th of May. Now, it seems like these two individuals will be involved in the 20-man championship gauntlet match that will take place. QT Marshall and Josh Alexander. Well, it seems that there's going to be a bit of a face-off between them, because in this matter, the way they're telling the story, it's who's going to be the top dog of this promotion. QT seems like he's the one, but Josh Alexander is well recognized, and not to mention a Canadian himself. He should be the one leading the charge. So that's a big battle we have to pay attention to. Now, as you know, we got more with the Prestige and West Coast Pro with their upcoming event, Conquer the World, that will take place on the 15th of May. It was foretold now that the West Coast Pro Championship, Kevin Blackwood will defend his belt against Danny O'Ryan. I don't know who that guy is, but that's what's going to be. Now, speaking of collaboration, as you know, West Coast Pro and Prestige Wrestling do have another relation with Deadlock Pro Wrestling. As you know, they'll have their big event on June 1st, United. It's just foretold that Alan Angels, who is our current Prestige World Champion, will defend his championship against, of course, Jordan Oliver. So we'll see that. Now, for those who remember, as you know, AEW will have, of course, an event at Arena Mexico. So on June 17th, CML will have a bit of a face-off with AEW / Ring of Honor. So that's going to happen in Arena Mexico, so stay tuned for that. But also, just a friendly reminder, they will have the Fantastica Mania Mexico that will take place on the 20th of June as well in Arena Mexico. So there's a lot of things CML has been doing. So even though many people say that this is not a coincidence of what's been going on with WWE and AAA recently. So I'll explain more about that near the end. Now, finally, let's jump into some developments. Many of you may have heard about what just saw what happened. Zelina Vega is now the brand new WWE United States champion. However, this decision was made by Triple H, and let me pull up what it was told by somebody. And I think many of you may or may not agree with it, but that's on you guys what you believe, what you think. Here it is. Triple A made the decision to take away the United States title from Chelsea Green and give it to Borica Zelina Vega. Many say it was a strategy to make her husband Alistair Black bigger. My opinion was too fast. In Chelsea, we trust in the show. The guarantee they should have kept history till SummerSlam to bring that championship to life. On the other hand, very happy to see a Puerto Rican as a champion, given it all, raising the flag. Zelina worked hard from the bottom to the goal. Yes, he deserves it. So some people think that maybe they should have waited a little later, like maybe to SummerSlam. I mean, that would have been the possible choice, but I don't know if this was a strategic move because of Zelina Vega's real life husband, Aleister Black, formerly known as Malachi Black. Well, if that is the case, then it's a very smart move. I mean, you don't want to piss off the husband. That's the last thing you need. But that's pretty much it. What happened? So that's pretty much with our news updates and everything else. Let's call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. I apologize that I was unable to do the much recent New Japan show. I know there's another one coming up, so we'll stay tuned. But as we speak, there's also the Stardom show, the All Star Queendom. So I have heard some bits and pieces what's going on. I don't want to spoil it to you guys. Now I'm not 100% sure if I'll be able to see it, but we'll just have to wait and see. If there's anything else, oh yeah, there's the latest Choco Pro show as well. Not gonna lie about that too. So we'll see how things will progress from here on out. But as a moment, we'll end things here. But until then, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye and have a nice day. Bang.